Adjutant Akande is waiting for you in her office.
I'm curious. Wells may have been a delusional madman, but he risked his life to save yours. So why turn him in? You've certainly earned it. Wells has been a criminal at large for decades. You've done well. You're efficient, talented, loyal. And if you're ready to get to work, we can finally start doing some good in this colony. Work with us, and we'll make you the richest freelancer in Halcyon. There has been a surge in off-world broadcasting coming from Monarch. Much of it is propaganda. All of it is illegal. We need those broadcasts shut down. All of Monarch's extraplanetary broadcasts are routed through Devil's Peak Station. I want you to claim Devil's Peak Station for the board, by force if need be. Monarch is a den of anarchy and barbarism. Keep your wits about you, and remember that you're doing the law's work. I have an agent working in Stellar Bay, Everett Gill. Have a word with him as soon as you arrive. The passphrase is, "The kind of pine grows at night." Yes? So what? Look, that's not important. Get to Stellar Bay and find Everett Gill. Monarch is a hotbed of anarchists operating under the misguided notion that the colony doesn't need the guiding hand of the board. It may not be a single individual behind these broadcasts, but any number of factions. Speak to Percival before you go. He'll arrange for your nav key and your reward for turning in Wells.
Adjutant Akande has instructed me to reward you for information leading to the arrest of Phineas Wells. Please allow me to extend my felicitations on a job well done. Quite so, madam. I've authorized your ship with an official board-certified nav key. Do exercise caution while visiting Monarch. As an acting agent of the board, you are entitled to purchase a selection of official board-certified equipment at a discount. Do let me know if you wish to take advantage of this special offer. I am at your service.
Help! Someone's been killed!
May I help you with something, my good woman? At last. I was beginning to think I'd waste away in this wretched place, waiting on orders from our mutual friend.
What's wrong? You got a pebble in your shoe? Crawl back to Byzantium if you can't cut it in the real world.
At least I'm not a walking cliché. All the engine grease in the colony won't mask the scent of the city, you know?
You're not gonna be able to smell anything once I take my fist to your nose.
My thoughts exactly. You're here about Devil's Peak Station, yes? Excellent. That should give us a foothold on this law-forsaken planet, not to mention silencing these abhorrent transmissions. Once you leave this forlorn town, look to the horizon and you'll see a mountaintop that looks like a fiendish skull with two curving horns. That's where the station is. There's a path along the western side of the mountain. Unfortunately, monsters and marauders are as common as kindling on Monarch, so the approach will be perilous. Well, you're Akande's blunt instrument, aren't you? I'm sure you can manage. However, there is a mercenary of some fame in town, Nyoka. She frequents the yacht club. Law, how I hate that name. Anyway, she might be useful if you can overcome her proclivities. She's rather fond of drink, but she's a good shot when her hands are steady. Good luck. Now, you should move along. After all, we are supposed to be strangers.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Well. See,
That
how can you...
you've often
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a
You'd be a hit in Byzantium.
Did you hear that power play, Celia? They don't make them like this anymore in Halcyon. I only hope you don't judge me by my handshake. Now, what business brings you here?
The adjutant herself? Why, I knew the board would see reason eventually, but this... this...
Sir, you've prepared for this.
Right. Now, see here. You may tell your corporate masters that we will deign to rejoin them on the board, but only once certain conditions are met. You're here because the board has finally recognized our potential and is welcoming us back with open arms. Right? Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it's thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
And now you don't have to play by their rules. Sounds like a deal to me.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
Exactly what I would have said, if I'd been paying attention.
You talk like Graham.
Freedom always sounds nice, doesn't it? It makes a rather pretty slogan. But if you sit down and tally up the costs, how you provide for yourself in the absence of aid, how you protect yourself from a hostile galaxy, it starts to lose its shine.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
A lot of good that'll do. They'll just find another reason to turn tail and abandon you.
Not if we secure the proper safeguards first.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
Well, you don't have to rub it in.
I think she means to warn you about working against the board.
What a notion. We want to rejoin the board, to our betterment and theirs. And my plan involves a two-pronged approach, the first part of which is seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush. I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. So taciturn, so dour. I'll be waiting with bated breath. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? He's not the brightest of minds, but he makes up for it with enthusiasm.
That's not what I would call it.
Still, I had him posted on the landing pad in hopes that he'd stay out of everyone's way. I'll see about additional training. Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But I see you've met Nyoka. Anyone can get you there safely, it's her.
He just wants me out of his bar.
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? If you don't see it, I don't got it. Don't go asking for the special reserve.
What's the hurry, right?
Can we talk?
I am a storm!
Been practicing it.
Taking you!
Someone else will clean this up, right? Nailed him, Captain!
Boy, take you!
Get it up! Get it up!
To shred?
My kind of action! Not bad, huh? Here we go. Here we go. That's the last of him.
A visitor? What an unexpected surprise! Please, come in. Come in.
I'm getting real bad fight or flight right now. Watch your step. People ain't this friendly outside city walls.
In my experience, any stranger this friendly either wants to rob and airlock you or sell you something.
Nonsense. Out here in the wilderness, we welcome all who come to our door. Now come in, make yourselves comfortable. Nonsense. We're too far from the safety of Stellar Bay to deny a traveler hospitality. Stay for dinner at least. I insist.
Something ain't right about this.
Here we go!
Can't get past that armor!
Down they go! I got another fighting me.
These sulfur-sodden assholes. Ain't enough that the rats eat everyone? Now people are doing it too?
Who does something like this?